Hey, what's up, Roxstars? It's Rox coming to you today with the review for Reasonable Doubt. I don't know why I can't say that. Reasonable Doubt, Season 2, Episode 9. You guys, one more episode left. I am sad. This show went by so quickly. Oh my gosh, you guys. Anyway, the review. Let's get to it, shall we? I say I'm gonna take some time off, y'all. All the cashiers, they was like, somebody stole her truck. It was like you could hear it all throughout the store. This Rox coming to you today with the review for Love and Marriage Detroit, Love and Marriage Huntsville, our book 4, Real Housewives of Atlanta. Let's get to it, shall we? All right, you guys. So the show opens with Sally and Chris. Okay, now you guys know that they've been on the outs. They've been on the outs and all. However, everybody has needs, right? Chris comes in there, and these two have a very irritated, passionless session. Basically, this man needed some, and so did she. I think that she's yearning for her husband, but he ain't got there yet, but he still has his needs and all. And I guess to keep him from going out to cheat, these two have like, she gives him a blow job and they do it against the wall and all of this. It was actually a pretty sad scene, okay? And it just kind of shows that these two ain't quite, they ain't quite back on the good foot. But maybe Sally's happy. So, I mean, I guess good for them. Now, we see Jax and Lewis, and Jax tells Lewis that she found this pen. So, it was a pen, a vape pen in Spencer's room, okay? And so, Lewis is just sort of like, what? But, Lewis is distracted because Lewis wants to know, like, when are we going to tell the kids about, the baby that's coming? And she was just like, we? Baby, this is your show, okay? That ain't nothing. She'll be there to support, but he gonna be the one to have to break the news to the kids. Lewis is still concerned about Jax. How are you doing? And she's just like, surprisingly, she's doing well. I mean, yeah, it is fucked up that the baby is coming and everything, but she's taking her medication. The court case is going as well as they can expect it to go. She's not first chair, so she doesn't have that stress on her life. So things is pretty normal, pretty level for her right now. Okay, right now, only bad is Lewis and Tony and this damn baby. And of course, she can't believe that her best friend, one of her best friends, Chanel, is possibly going to go to prison forever. Now, speaking of the case, Corey and Jax, they take Ebony, who is Candy's character, who is the oldest daughter's mother. Remember, the oldest daughter is not Chanel. They take Ebony to go see Chanel in prison and in jail. And so when Chanel sees her, she's like, what the fuck is she doing here? And it was just like, hold on. You guys need to have a conversation because they need to try to put her on the stand, but Chanel needs to be good with it. So they let Chanel and Ebony talk. All right. And, Ebony just tells her, like, she was with JT. They was fine until she got pregnant. He didn't want the baby. And the fact that she kept the baby, he resented her. And then very much like how he used to do Chanel, he used to beat Ebony up. And then he would help, want her to help him give medication. Chanel already knows about that. And the reason that Ebony ended up on drugs is because whatever medication that was left, she would just inject herself. All right, just to take away whatever pain, whatever this nigga was doing to her, she just needed something to take her away from it. Chanel, I think, softens up because she realizes that it could have even gotten worse for her. She could have ended up on drugs like Ebony was, lost her child, all of that, So Chanel does kind of soften up to the idea, and then finally she's okay with Ebony testifying at her trial. So Ebony goes and tells Corey and Jax, that it's fine. She will testify. She'll be there. So they make arrangements, with her to prep her, all right, before she goes on stand. So that's good. Jax goes back home, and Jax is actually looking at Brandon's file that's under her bed. Brandon is Michael Ealy. I think that's his name, what his name was on the show. Brandon. We just gonna call him Brandon if that's not it. But anyway, she's going through his file, and I was like, girl, why are you going through that? Like, why is that under your bed? This man is dead and gone. What exactly ties you to this case still? You know, so that had me a little concerned. She wasn't in it long because Lewis comes and knocks on the door. Is like, come on, let's go talk to Spencer. You know, so she's like, I'm coming, but she hides it back under the, I don't know what's going on with that. I'm sure we're going to hear a little bit more about that next week. But, so anyway, they go in there in the Spencer's room. Hey, what is this? We found this in your, you know, in your pocket or whatever. And he said that he was holding it for somebody at first, but of course we ain't believing that. So he finally comes clean. But he was like, Mom, it could have been worse. Like, I could have been doing all the other shit that they was doing. I was like, Jax, you let that go? Okay, your child is hanging around a whole bunch of fucking drug addicts. So anyway, they're fussing at him, and you know, Lewis is like, you know, smoking is bad for you and all that. And he was like, why is it so bad? Mom does it. And she was like, excuse me. First of all, I'm grown. I can do whatever I want to do. Okay, you are not grown. But you know, anytime your child checks you like that, you know, you got a little feeling in the inside like, oh shit. All right, these kids be watching. You know, and how you gonna tell somebody not to smoke when you do that? When they finished fussing at him, you know, Lewis is kind of tickled about it. It sounded very Jadakiss versus Dipset in there. And she was just like, yeah, whatever, Cameron. Wait till they find out about your baby. Wipe that smirk right on off Lewis's face. Now, next day, we're prepping Ebony. Jax is questioning her, and she tells him how JT wanted her to get an abortion, and she wouldn't get it. He got resentful. He started beating up on her, kicking her in her stomach. I mean, obviously trying to get her to lose that baby, but that baby held on. Which kind of gives you that feeling of like, nigga, that's what you get, okay? Isn't it something how karma loops the block? You didn't want this child, and now that child is the reason why you're not alive anymore. Even though they haven't said that, but I think it's coming next week, y'all. Anyway, you know, Ebony starts telling him how, you know, the abuse got bad. He started berating her even in front of the friends. You know, he just did not care. And by the time she knew it, you know, she was so stressed out and scared and beat up and broke down. You know, she started injecting herself, and she was addicted to painkillers and drugs, and she just lost control. That's how she ended up losing the baby. And really, JT's mom is the one who wanted the little baby, not him. So he kicked her off his insurance, and he just was not there supportive of her. And you know, she was on drugs and all that shit. Classic story. I mean, just lost everything basically. So yeah, she has a very compelling story. So yeah, she's gonna be a good witness. So you know, both Corey and Jax are happy with her, you know, that she's gonna be good. When she leaves, she goes out into the parking lot, and who might be out there but that mean ass bitch, okay, JT's mama. What's her name? Child, I don't even know, but the mama and her eyebrows, child, them eyebrows just shot up into her head. Ebony was like, what are you doing here? And she was just like, yeah, I got my ways, basically. Of course, the mama gets in Ebony's head and was just like, Natasha's gonna find out about this. And when she hears all the dirt about you and all of that, anyway, she freaks out Ebony. I said, oh, this lady about to wear this woman's nerves down. That's exactly what she does. And I was just like, who that mama is evil. Because sure enough, next day, when Ebony is supposed to testify, she's high as a fucking kite. Okay, both Corey and Jax was like, oh, wait a minute. No. Girl, you can't get up on the stand like that. Yes, I can do it. No, you can't. Okay, as a matter of fact, let's get you to a hospital because you don't sound right. She been sober for 3 fucking years, they said. Okay, and got up there with that evil ass mama and knocked all that shit down in 1 fucking day. All right, so when she gets to the hospital, the doctor was like, good thing you got her when you did, you know, got her here when you did. They had to pump her stomach. You know, she probably would have been dead had they not gotten her there. And, of course, now Ebony is singing a different tune, like, you know, maybe I better not do this. I could lose everything, you know. And Corey is just like, yeah, maybe you shouldn't. Did you guys see Candy's expression? It was truly worried. It was just sort of like, yeah, maybe that's best for everybody. It was like, Candy was just like, shit, that bitch is crazy. Corey was just like, now who done got to you? Because when she said everybody will be safe, he was just like, And so when they tell Chanel, you know, Chanel's like that mean ass Mavis. That's her name. That mean ass Mavis and her eyebrows. She had the girl all shaken up. Chanel's not surprised. That's what Mavis does best. So now the only testimony that we waiting on is Chanel's. You know, and Chanel is just like, I'm ready. Okay, fuck that mean ass Mavis and her eyebrows. So yeah, the heat is about to turn up. You know, Jax, when she goes out to her car, she's about to have a smoke, and then she remembers what Spencer says, and she doesn't. She's like, oh, fucking kids. Oh, saying that they keep you honest is true. Now let's jump over to Lucy. Lucy is at home with her son, and she's trying to work through this new arrangement with the daddy. You know, he has 50-50 joint custody now, so the son is about to go spend time with the dad for the weekend, and he's excited. Okay, Lucy has to go along. I mean, it's court ordered. She don't have no choice. Of course, she doesn't want him to go. All right, so when he walks off to go pack, you know, get the rest of his things, so the father, I guess, is on his way there to get him, she puts an air tag in his jacket, and then when he comes back, she's like, put this on, it's cold outside. Yeah, mom, all right, love you, bye. I mean, maybe she'll get some solace in the fact that her son is grown. I mean, he's not grown, but he's he's a teen, old enough to tell her if there really was something wrong. So, I mean, at least he's not like a little kid. But anyway, we go to court, and now they're haggling over a juror because one of the jurors they found out is working with a publisher, I guess about to have a book come out. So now they got to get rid of the juror. Even though it's the wrong time, I mean, they're the end of this case basically, but in order to keep the integrity of the case, you know, the judge is just like, no, we got to get rid of that juror. Jumping over to Sally. We see Sally going to, what is the friend's name? You guys told me and I forgot again. Is it Robin? Why do I want to call that girl Robin? Anyway, she goes to the other friend's OBGYN appointment. And, you know, the doctor is just like, oh, is this your wife? And she's like, no, my wife is out of town. You know, this is my girl Sally. She's just coming to support. Anyway, while Sally is there, they find out that they cannot find the heartbeat of the baby. So now the friend is not pregnant any longer. And of course, she's upset about that. Because her and her wife were in IVF, you know, now they have like one egg left, I think they said. And if that one doesn't take, then they have to start all over. So she's feeling pretty discouraged. But we go back to Jax and Corey, and now we're prepping Chanel for the court. So, you know, they ask her to talk to them about her relationship with JT. She said it was good with JT at first until it wasn't. That he got controlling, he forced her to quit her job, and Jax was like, he forced you? Did he hold a gun to your head? She was like, no, he didn't. Well, how did he force you then? And she was just like, well, if I knew that, then it wouldn't have happened, right? Corey was just like, cool down. Okay, we just need you to just say that it didn't work out. Don't get into an argument with your counsel because the jury is watching and they're going to pick up on anything like that. So just try to stay cool, okay? So Jax is continuing to question her, and Chanel is starting to feel a way about this. And Jax was like, girl, I'm trying to prepare you for some shit, okay? Because first of all, I don't even think you're telling the truth. Secondly, the damn prosecution is going to paint you as a lying gold digger. You need to be prepared for whatever is coming your way. You know, Chanel goes through this. Like every now and then she'll think that everybody is against her. Like maybe this is because JT has her head so fucked up. I'm gonna need you to toughen that damn skin. I'm trying to help you win this case. Back over to Lucy, we see Lucy talking to Mike. Mike is the guy who originally had the case before Lucy took over. Of course, she's telling him, like, I really have to win this case. He was like, I told you it was going to be hard. This was not going to be one of those slam dunk cases that you thought it was going to be. He was like, why don't you offer them a plea deal? If they bite, then they're scared like you. So anyway, they send the plea deal to Jax and Corey. They're surprised. And they know that when plea deals start coming this late in the game, then maybe the prosecution ain't feeling all that confident about it either. So they offer 10 years voluntary manslaughter. With good behavior, she'll get out sooner. So they take it to Chanel. Jax is kind of telling her that maybe this is a good thing. Maybe you can take this deal. You know, with good behavior, you'll be out much sooner. 3-4 years, you know, and you'll be done. Chanel is just like, well, shit, you don't think I can convince the jury? Jax was like, no, I feel like you're lying, like you're hiding something. And if I feel that, then I feel like the jury's going to know that too. So they trying to tell her the pros and the cons. Well, the pro is if you take the deal, then the damn thing is over. You ain't got to get up there. You ain't got to testify. You ain't got to take your family through anymore. You know, it could just be a done deal. If you don't, though, you're gonna have to get up on the witness stand and you're gonna have to be cross-examined, and it's gonna be a tough ride. So she's frustrated, and then Corey, he starts to feel like, you know what, no, we not fixing to change course. We gonna stick to the original plan. Jax knows that Corey wants to win. Yes, he wants to win for Chanel, but he also wants to win for himself. So she's not really sure if this is the best course to take, but he's first chair. Later on, Jax goes to lunch with the friend, and, the friend, again, she's apologizing. Sorry, I haven't really been around. She's got a lot going on. She went out with Sally just recently, and Jax was like, what's going on with Sally? She's been real short, and she ain't really had much patience for nothing. And, the friend was like, yeah, she actually is very stressed about this case. It's weird. They got to check on their friends, though. Both of them going through some shit. Everybody is going through something now. Now, speaking of Sally goes to visit Chanel. Sally was like, girl, I've been trying to come see you the last 4 weeks or whatever. Why haven't you seen me? And she was just like, girl, I've just been trying to focus on my testimony. Now, the last time that Sally had talked to Chanel had said maybe it's time for them to tell the truth. So I guess that's what Sally thought that they was doing, but Chanel was like, nope, I took that off the table. I changed my mind. I'm testifying. I'm going forward with the regular plan. Sally is not really with that, because Sally is tired of holding up this plan, holding up the lie. She already knows that Jax is suspicious, and it's just really wearing on her. Chanel was just like, did you say something? And she was like, no, girl, I have not said nothing. Again, Chanel going through that thing where she think everybody is against her. Sally about done with this shit, because listen, girl, you done told me what happened. I'm trying to hold on to the fucking lie. Okay. I did so much for you, trying to help you. I didn't put up my fucking house and lost my house. I'm about to lose my husband. He don't want to deal with me unless I'm giving him a damn blowjob. Like, girl, you talking about somebody done did some shit to you. My life is fucked up too right now. Chanel's whole thing is like, bitch, you ought to try being in here for doing something that you didn't even do. They start yelling and screaming about lying and telling the truth and all this. And I was like, wait a minute, hold on. We are in public, right? I mean, we in the jail, and I know we talking, but listen, I ain't never visited nobody in jail, so y'all gonna have to put me up on game. Like, isn't that shit even, aren't people listening? You up here yelling and screaming about what you didn't do and somebody else did it and all that. We not concerned that the police might hear this, or the warden, the jail people? Child, I was just like, girl, if y'all don't stop all this damn screaming. But Sally is over Chanel because she tired. She's like, girl, I've been doing all this shit for you, and you ain't even, you not grateful for none of it. Okay, fuck it. I'm going to show you what selfish is, because from now on, you on your own, cuz. I was just like, well, Chanel, you done fucked up another relationship. But Chanel can't worry about that. She got to testify. So next day is the big day. Chanel gets up there to testify. Right before she's about to go out there, they like, you ready, girl? And she was just like, yeah, but she has decided that she wants Corey to question her, not Jax. Jax was like, really? Why not? You too doubtful. And you've never really believed in me, even from when we were in high school. She was like, you gonna let some high school bullshit be the reason why I'm not questioning you? Girl, Corey was just like, okay, listen. We don't need none of this. I will do the questioning. Chanel get up there on the damn stand. Okay, Jax don't have any choice. She got to do what her client says. So we get to court, and once Chanel is sworn in and everything, then they turn it over to Corey. Much like how she said when they were prepping her, she says the same thing, that the relationship was good until it wasn't. JT started getting angry and stressed about money. He was always mad, and she wasn't really sure what he was going to do, so she just started to try to steer clear of him, so she didn't have to even deal with his wrath. And of course, over time, she felt like she couldn't deal with this. She could not put up with this. It was time to leave. So the plan was, she picked a day when she knew that he was going to be gone. She dropped her kid off at school. She came back to the house. She packed her clothes. She was packing her shit up and the kids' shit up, and she was going to get gone. Anyway, he ended up coming home sooner than she expected him to. So when he saw what she was doing, they got into an argument. He became violent. All right. Next thing you know, they was fighting. And next thing you know, she was being choked. She said that she was panicking because she couldn't breathe. Child, tell me why did the camera go over there to Jax, and Jax was about to have a panic attack. I said, not right now, Jax. Jax, Girl, I'm gonna need you to breathe. Let's do some ones and some twos and some threes and some fours, because you can see she was thinking back about Brandon and when she was kidnapped and all of this shit. I was just like, not right now, not right now. Chanel said that she grabbed something that was close to her and hit him with it, and that this wasn't the first time. So Corey was just like, okay, so what made this time different? And she said that, well, she could look into his eyes and his eyes were like black. They were like cold. And he said, I'm going to do something to you that I should have did a long time ago. So that is what she is saying is what made her decide to kill JT. Now, Lucy gets up there to question her, and Lucy starts poking holes in her story. First, she tells her she apologizes that all of those things happened to her, that she had to go through all of that. Okay, got all the niceties out of the way first. Then she goes straight for it. So why did you stay? Chanel said because she didn't have a choice. She was afraid and she was scared. Well, Lucy accuses her of staying for money. Didn't you know he was having an affair? And she said yes. And Lucy brings it around to like the triggers. You knew how to press his buttons and you knew how to do things to upset him and get him, so that he would fly off the handle, basically. Yeah, she knew of his triggers and she tried to avoid them because, she didn't feel like being a fucking punching bag all the time. Well, what about if he found out about Adrian? I mean, wouldn't that provoke him? Yes, that's why she ended it before he found out. Adrian said you guys was in this relationship 3 months before the murder. And she was just like, yeah, and Adrian is the person who made me realize that I was worth more than just being JT's fucking punching bag. She was able to see the good in herself. And so Lucy was like, oh, so he made you stronger and wiser and, smarter, right? And she said, yes. She said, okay. I said, oh. Jax could tell that Lucy was backing Chanel into a corner. Chanel was not aware of this yet. So Lucy is concentrating now on these two different scenarios of when JT was supposedly killed, because apparently Chanel had told the police that she hit him while he was choking her, but she just testified in court with Corey that she hit him in the back of the head while he was walking away. So which one is it? Okay, so now, of course, she's stuttering and shit, and then now it sounds like she's lying. She was like, he was going to kill me. Did you guys see what she said? Her face was like, uh-oh, Chanel, you kind of got a little tripped up there. And so, Chanel was trying to say how she got mixed up and all of that, and Lucy was like, no, you just said that you was braver and smarter and stronger. And she was just like, you're doing just like him. You're twisting my words and making it seem like it's something else. And Lucy was just like, no, girl, I'm just saying what you said. Okay. So yeah, it got real tense up in there. Chanel's story gets blown out the fucking water. Nobody knows what to believe now. And yeah, not necessarily good for the defense. That didn't go well. And then that's how the defense rests. I was just like, When Chanel and Jax are sitting around, Chanel realizes that she fucked up. She was just like, well, girl, thanks for not saying I told you so. And Jax was like, who, me? Okay, little sarcastic. And then she was like, no, girl, actually, I'm trying to be a better person. Okay, so I want to apologize, for making her feel the way that she felt anyway, to take Jax off the questioning. And Chanel was just like, no, girl, this is all on me. Then, of course, when Corey comes in the room, he tells them, like, well, the deal is off the table. I said, you think? Now, Lucy is back home, waiting for her son to get back home from the father's house. So when the son gets there, she's just like, hey, how was it? He was just like, fine, Mom. Everything was good. Bye, Dad. And he just runs in the house. I was just like, no, what was that? That was kind of strange. I wasn't sure if the son was trying to hide something or not. Did you notice how he just quickly ran in the house? And so, Lucy turns around to the father and was just like, thanks for this. Just about to maybe feel like some of the ice is broken between the two of them. And he was just like, you're welcome. And then he puts the air tag in her hand and, kind of like, yeah, bitch, I know what you was trying to do. And of course, Lucy just turns pale. I was just like, oh, Lucy, girl, you gonna have to put this man out of his misery. I see it happening next week. We see Jax and Corey talking, and Corey is feeling kind of bad about how he jumbled and dropped the ball on the testimony with Chanel, so he's about to offer to Jax. She was like, no, I know you're not about to ask me to do the closing statement. Like, no, I'm not doing that. Okay. Just because we had a little rough patch in court, he was just like, but it's my fault. We should have took the deal. Like, from the beginning, I was trying to go forward. And she was just like, no, you got this. Don't worry about it. He just really wants to win. Oh, well, you win some, you lose some. Afterwards, you know, she kind of sticks around, helps Crystal study for the LSAT, and then she finally goes home and she's talking to Spencer, and she tells him, you know, even though she was pissed that he pointed out that she also smokes, that he was right, you know, that she needs to do better, that it's a bad habit that she doesn't want him to pick up. But she's just worried about him. Addiction runs on her side of the family. You know, that's not something that he needs to get started. You know, so she's just trying to look out for his best interest. And he knows that. He knows that his mom loves him and all that. You know, even though he might be irritated with her right now, he knows in the long run she means well. We see Corey. Corey gets a call from Isabel. Isabel is the lady that's in jail that he's like on this quest to help get out. And long story short, she's tired of this. She knows that he's only doing this just for her, you know, and that it's not healthy for either one of them. So she tells him, you know, she picks a fight with him basically, and then she fires him. Okay. And Corey looks crushed. I was just like, I don't know what Corey gonna do with his life now that she's just like done with it. Jax goes in there to talk to Lewis about, you know, the conversation that she had with Spencer and how he's right and how, you know, she needs to do better with the smoking and all that. He was just like, what? Are you taking accountability? I am oddly turned on right now. I was just like, who would have ever thought that I would think that Jackson Lewis is cute, child? Who would have ever thought it? But anyway, she's talking to him, and she's going on and on about like being a mother and being a child and this and that and the other. And I'm not really paying much attention to what she's saying. And then even what she said, I couldn't figure out what triggered her. But while she's talking, she stops, and she was just like, you can see realization come over her face. And then she was just like, oh my God, I gotta go. I'll be right back. Okay. Doesn't say what she's going to do or anything, but I assumed that she must have realized who Chanel is lying about. And then, you know, much like how Scandal used to be, you can tell that there's some Kerry Washington influence in this show, because we start seeing all the little things happening. So she rushes off. Then we see Sally. Sally's drunk. Okay, Sally is just like, sees her man walking out the door. She was like, are you coming back home tonight? And he was like, unfortunately, yes. Okay, she was just like, okay. She was just like, baby, I mean, shit is fucked up. So if you come back, fine. If you don't, fine. She ain't even got the energy to argue. Lewis is at home, and his cell phone rings, okay? And it's the doula. Apparently, Tony didn't went into labor. She's only 29 weeks. Oh, well, she's in labor and you need to get here. Jax is not even there. So Lewis rushes off. Hey, after calling Jax's mama and asking her to watch the kids. And then, of course, we see Jax. Where did Jax rush off to? Well, she rushed off to Chanel. All right. And Chanel comes out and she's looking at Jax like kind of strange, like, why are you here? You know? And Jax is looking at her and she says, I know who killed JT. And that's how the show ends. So yes, they're dragging it out to the next episode. I don't know how this is going to turn out for Chanel. Is she just going to go in and take the rap for her child, her stepchild? Are they going to turn the stepchild in? Do we believe that it is still the stepchild, the oldest daughter? Do we believe it's somebody else? I mean, I think that at this point, I think it is the oldest daughter. But we'll see next week. But yeah, definitely a good setup. This show is just so good. I'm sad that it's over. I cannot believe it's over. Them 10 weeks went by quickly, you guys. But next week is the finale, so we'll talk about it then. Y'all let me know what you thought about this episode. All right, you guys, that is it. Make sure that you thumbs up the video, comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'm Roxanne. The channel is itsrox. I know this here been getting on y'all nerves all day today. I'm itsrox. The channel is itsrox. Everything else I do will be in the bottom bar. All right. So I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I plan on doing the same. Till next time, Roxstars. Bye.